Father, I'm smiling. My engineer, Richard, he's sharp. When I mentioned the issue about Bishop Sheen dying on December 9th, 1979, it's interesting. The Eastern Church first celebrated the Feast of the Immaculate Conception of the most pure and all pure Mother of God on December 9th since the 5th century.
Wow.
So
okay.
That's what I had researched years ago, and I had already forgot but I just knew that at one time that was the case.
Well, my mistake was a mistake of 24 hours.
Yeah, before and after.
I was before and it was after.
Yeah.
But I still think that Our Lady could have done something. That year, the Immaculate Conception, the 8th of December, was on a Saturday, and I thought, it's like a double home run.
Right. Right.
There is such a thing.
Father, you've been mentioning your experience as a young child for Advent and, prayers around the Advent wreath, observing a little Lent by making resolutions. You talked about the straw. That's a great way to do it. There's also, I don't know where this came from, but from St. Nicholas's feast day coming up on the 6th, enjoying gingerbread on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, hanging the Jesse tree ornaments on the receipt for a well-spent Advent, which will flow, to help you with your Christmas season. Many Catholics keep this Advent wreath on their door, and they have these prayers that many of them say for the first Sunday of Advent, which is already past us. But I love this song, the Advent song, O come, Emmanuel. It seems like so appropriate for us to be singing because that's what we're waiting for. Emmanuel, God is with us. So that hymn is done in minor tones. Okay,
it's all minor.
That's interesting.
Which is not happy.
Yeah,
but it's hopeful. It's hopeful. It's like the chords and the tone will change on Christmas Day.
Yep. Well, I want to also talk on December 6th. Many families have
St. Nicholas.
Yes, the visit from St. Nicholas. In this
Terry, this is one of the things. This is one of the reasons I dislike Protestantism so much. Note, I did not say I dislike Protestants.
No,
because that would make me an absolute fool. Because some of as we used to say in things racial, some of my best friends are Protestants.
Yep, and some of my best friends are living the gospel.
I do have Protestant friends, but the problem with Protestantism is that they took all the joy out of things.
Right.
It took all the joy out of things. And we're living in a country, the United States of America, which is based on Protestant principles.
That's true.
They took all the joy out of things. For example, the first Thanksgiving. The first Thanksgiving was celebrated by the Spaniards in Florida at St. Augustine.
That's right.
With the Indians of that region. It wasn't the English Pilgrims.
Nope.
That wasn't it at all. And some of the traditions that all of these nations brought over, the Catholic nations brought over to the United States, fizzled out. Many of them just fizzled out because they were scoffed at, they were criticized. But St. Nicholas is one of the fun times in Europe, especially in Austria. I lived there for 2 years in Austria. And in Salzburg, on the 6th, on the 5th, beginning on the 5th and the 6th, the devil would come down the street.
Yes.
With firecrackers.
Right.
With firecrackers lit, and all the children would be running away and everything else. But at the same time, somebody would be behind them with candy. Right? And it was this great. And Saint Michael the Archangel was battling the devil as they were walking along.
I love it.
It was fantastic fun. It was fantastic fun, and everyone dressed up.
Yeah.
It was like a little Halloween thing, but they dressed up like saints and angels and soldiers. It was beautiful, a beautiful custom. All of those sorts of customs really faded away when those Catholic immigrants came to the United States because they were ridiculed so much. Halloween, for example, Halloween was another thing. Halloween, we in Catholic schools, we dressed up as saints.
Exactly.
We dressed up as saints. We never dressed up as I don't know, gargoyles and ghouls and monsters and that wasn't it at all. It was the day before All Saints Day.
That's right.
The eve before All Saints, and it was it was the beginning of All Saints Day, which was a holy day for us. Well, all of those customs have either changed or dissipated or just been ignored. St. Nicholas was another great feast day, a great feast day, St. Nicholas.
Of course.
And if I'm not mistaken, wooden shoes were put out also.
You're absolutely. And what would be put in those
Am I
wooden
right?
Yes, and what would be put in those wooden shoes on the 6th? Candy.
Well, candy, of course. That was in the good days, candy.
Yeah.
But in the harder days, soap and a new washcloth,
Yeah, exactly.
and things that you needed. They were there. Yeah, but those were beautiful, beautiful traditions.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Protestantism, especially Calvinism, took away the joy of those things.
Right.
It's not in the Bible. Well,
Yeah.
of course it's not in the Bible. Why would you expect the Christ giving dictates to how children should dress up and throw objects at the devil walking down the street? Come on.
Right.
These are cultural things, but they were full of joy.
Yes.
And children were always a part of it.
Yeah.
This is not the case any longer. It's unfortunate.
And Father,
it's unfortunate.
I'm just going to mention one more point, and this is not about Advent, but it's a point of thanksgiving. I believe we are turning it around from this woke culture. This happened last weekend at an NFL football game. It was Thanksgiving weekend, and both teams got together before the game and said a prayer of thanksgiving publicly. Now, years ago, in the last, say, 30, 40 years, they
I'm laughing, Terry, because it's a good thing they did it before the game and not after.
Exactly. No. But the point of it is, what a great witness, because in the past, the NFL's been trying to get into the LGBT, honoring that and doing this. And now they're going back to God and saying, let's pray together. So I just think it's another indication that the culture is rejecting the woke culture. And as you said, I mean, I think we've hit bottom. I just hope there's no basement now, because I don't think so. I think we can actually move forward, and we're seeing that with retail stores. But I also say that it's related to the church. I think more people are coming back to these old traditions, whether it's in Advent or Lent, and they're wanting something to grab onto that is like true and stable. Because right now we have too many people, and I'm sorry to be so derogatory, but even in the church, who say, "Oh no, don't. Let's just go along with Christmas as a secular thing, and it's baby Jesus, but let's make sure we get all the gifts, and that's the focus. And Christ is kind of like on the sideline." But it seems to me that we're now going back and saying, "Wait a minute, let's go back to these old traditions." I see this happening not only in my neck of the woods, but I think it's going to happen throughout the U.S. and the world, because the world's tired of secular humanism. Am I onto something?
Yeah, I think so. There's something else too about gift giving that you touched on. Mm-hmm. Again, as kids, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I tell you this.
Yeah,
it was exciting for us to go out and buy our brothers and sisters and mother and father and cats and dogs and everything. Yeah. It was exciting to buy them a gift. Wait till you see what I got you. Wait till you see what I got you. Right? But it wasn't this way. It wasn't, what did you get me? What did you get me? No, it was, wait till you see what I got you.
Yeah.
I found something, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Right? And we would talk to each other for weeks before Christmas.
That's awesome.
With that.
That is awesome.
But there was an excitement of getting gifts to give.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I'm excited because I'm going to receive.
Right.
Of course there was that. Of course there was that.
Sure.
But also the other was true.
Yeah.
And I see a little of that other today.